Rocker Pat here. All right, guys, man, the sun is finally coming back out, and man, I've been hiding over here in the corner because all that voodoo and everything with the sun going away and had us all scared in the corner. All right, guys, well, we've been rocking it down, getting it down, and making them sound, and it's kind of a cloudy day out there. Kind of missed the eclipse thing and all. Hopefully where you were at, you got to go into total darkness and you were scared for your life. But anyway, I've been playing with my sketchy dick over here. And there's been a few things that have been changed. First off, this morning, I finally went and got those big fat tires that were on the front of this car off because it kept tearing up my fenders. So these tires came off of Johnny, and those were the front tires that were on those red wheels, and now the red wheels have the big fat tires on them, and they're on the back of Johnny, where they will reside until Johnny gets its regular wheels and tires that I already have sitting on a shelf. So one of the other things I did was I found that there was a brace that's up underneath there. You see that right there? And I attached that to that, and that made that a lot stronger. And you can see the damage I was doing with them big tires. So got that fixed. And then up under here, I don't know if we can see. Let me see here. Right there. Just happened to find this little piece of bracket bent over on my bench, and it just fit perfect right there to put a couple of little tackety tacks. And I don't know if that's exactly where it needs to be, but we're going to go with that for right now. I was going to replace some springs because if we look right there, we got the old telltale that somebody doesn't like the ride height. And can we see it? Is it right there? You can see it. You know what I'm talking about, and there's its partner right there. So, it needs a new set of springs, and then that'll bring the front up where maybe it'll look better. Front end is not straight right now. I put a 1/4-inch shim underneath the radiator where it should have a piece of rubber, but it didn't have a rubber. And I think it's over this way just a little bit, especially when I look at the tire distance. But this car's got another... Well, the sketch ain't done yet, but let's check out what I did get done. I got this division bar completely rebuilt, and that is a chore because there are rivets that have to go into this stuff, and yeah, they're not pop rivets. I mean, I guess you could use a pop rivet, but... And then the glass to here. I might need to trim this, or this needs to go this way just a touch and everything. But the cool thing is, let me open the door. There we go. Sketchy has glass that goes up and down, and it's not glued into the channel yet, but got glass that goes up and down. Super happy with that. On this side, I need to, probably today, I will rebuild this divider bar and get the rubber up in there. But I really need to clean this well. That needs some polishing. I did get this piece bent around that corner, and that's kind of a challenge to not tear that up and everything. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. But the biggest thing is, I was sitting here on this little stoop right here, and look, because of the solar eclipse thingy, I got the big red carpet out. It's been up there on that shelf up there. I say that shelf, that Z-purling, for 9 years. Figured I'd do that. So, one of the problems with this car is that every time I steer it around, it seems like it's wandering wherever it wants to go. And me and a buddy of mine, we did a little measurement thingy from over here to back over here. And what we found was that there's 130 inches from here to over there on this side of the car. But on the other side of the car, from there to over there, it's 129 inches. So something crazy going on with this car. I don't know if this is welded in wrong, the problem's back here, but when I look at it, seems to me like that rear end ain't exactly square in that in the car itself. Not necessarily that fender well opening, but in the car. So I think I might know what the problem is, but I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of weird. I went up underneath there and I looked at it. I put it on the lift and I looked at it, and what I found under here, let's crawl up under here like we're madmen, is that, of course, originally this would have been a torque tube kind of rear end and everything, and on those thingies, the bolt for the spring pack is generally forward of center line. And that's because they got a pivot point. So if you look right there, there's kind of a U right there in that, in the center of that shackle, right here where my finger is. And there's the bolt right there to go up through this thing, I think. At least that's what I think is going on there. And then on the top side of there, you got it drilled out. And then it comes back here and it's got another pin going up through here. I loosened all this up. It's also got one missing deal. But the thing I got crazy going on here is I think that this spring is bent. Like somewhere along this zone. And the reason why I say that is if I back up here and we do the snake crawl backwards. So we look at it. Over here on the driver's side, which would be that side for those of us living in the areas where they drive on the wrong side of the road. It's got a nice gentle curve to that spring, but when I look over here to this one, it seems like it's more flat. So I think that spring might be bent literally. See how it's nice and flat? Right there in front of where the bolt is. And, you know, even though it's got those little shackle dealy thingies missing, there's no bolt going across them. I mean, I can see air through that spring. Where this one doesn't even have those little things, and it's nice and fit. So I think there's something going on with that spring. And another way we can look at that is when we come back here. It just seems like there's something wrong with that spring over there. And I don't know, man, maybe I should take that spring off and see if I can straighten it on the press over there. That'd be one thing. Or buy another spring and then hopefully it's the same as the one on the other side. But one thing I did notice is it has a whole shitload I mean, what were they? This is a real moonshine car or something like that? You needed that truck spring up underneath there? There's 7 leaves on this thing. Maybe we could take about 3 of them out of there and get the rear end to drop down a little bit. And, yeah. But I do think that there's a bend. See how it's flat? Where over here, it's got a nice arc. Nice curvature to it. I think something's bent it over here, and that's got that ass end jacked up all crazy. Alright, guys. Well, that's a look up under our Sketchy Dick's rear end. But I am happy about getting the tires out. Oh, one more thing. Okay. What made me get that out was because I went up there and I took that seat that had been sitting on top of that refrigerator down, and it's in Sketchy. Now the crazy thing is that I have, this is a swivel bucket seat for a 73 through 77A body, which would be a Monte Carlo, a Grand Prix, those kind of cars. Maybe even a Chevelle may have accidentally got one of these. I'm not 100% sure. But here's the dilemma. Although I have the other seat frame right there. You see that seat frame? I don't have the plastic that goes on the back of that seat frame. I'm not concerned about the cushions or the upholstery because that would get made new and they sell the cushion already. What I'm missing is this plastic that goes on the back and the bottom. Not so much even worried about missing the plastic that goes over that, although I would like to get those. They are available on eBay, but I can't find this plastic that goes on the back of that seat. I did find a guy in Flint, Michigan, had a Craigslist ad, but he won't answer my damn telephone call, even though I told him, hey, I'd try to get Herb over there at Michigan Muscle Cars to go pick that up and ship me the plastic, but can't get him to answer the phone. So it's kind of like, man, I can buy seats, but I don't want to buy 2 seats and still, it negates the use of these seats. But I will say that cool factor are these seats. I need a back. If somebody is at a junkyard and they see one of these seats and they can scratch one of them backs, man, I am willing to pay. I mean, I ain't gonna pay $5,000, but you get my point, right? All right, guys, well, that is 11 minutes and 40 seconds of nothing but sketchy dick. All right, guys, well, y'all keep rocking and a-rolling and a-rolling and a-rocking. We survived the Great Eclipse of 2024.